The Hamish and Andy Show podcast. Powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hamish and Andy, delighted to be back for another happy hour in the afternoon. Spoilers. We're centralising the idea around today because we plan to spoil a movie by one of the big networks, Sam. Warner Brothers will be quaking in their boots at the moment.
We thought, what's a way to spoil the film Batman versus Superman? At first we thought we'd spoil the next season of Game of Thrones, but of course, just ask any nerd with the full collection of books, and they can tell you what happens in the series. So we thought, what's something that the world doesn't even know about yet? Batman versus Superman will be the blockbuster, not this summer, but of next summer.
Yeah, 2016 probably.
It'll be an enormous film.
Yeah.
It'll probably be one of the biggest films of all time. You can't find anything out about it online.
Yeah.
They didn't expect our secret move, though, which was to get a clairvoyant in.
Oh, get on Ben Affleck, I thought.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. We can't get on him.
They can't get on.
And then he would just not tell us because we've annoyed him by getting on him.
Yeah, sure.
So we thought, well, let's get a clairvoyant in. Let's get a psychic. Psychics know the future. They know secrets.
Yes.
She'll be able to come in and tell us exactly what happens in that film.
Exactly. A psychic reading of the new films Batman versus Superman.
And we've managed to get a psychic
Huge spoiler alert.
That just one of those people just looks at a photo and goes, yeah, getting a vibe.
If you haven't seen The Sixth Sense, that's another film we're going to concentrate on because people often spoil that film.
Oh, spoiler alert for The Sixth Sense. It's coming up next. I'm going to do movie in a minute.
Yeah.
This is where I recap a film in 60 seconds, no more.
No, it seems to go for a lot longer
And Andy,
normally.
it's always a film that Andy hasn't seen in the past. We've done Titanic. We've done Castaway.
I haven't seen The Sixth Sense, so...
Oh, I have. About 11 years ago. But I remember it perfectly, Andy, which is why I can recap it in movie in a minute.
Spoilers. We're talking today.
We are, Ando.
And a lot of people, I think I know the end of this film already because it seems to me it's the one film that everyone knows the end of, even if they haven't watched it. It's a spoiler-heavy movie. The film is The Sixth Sense.
When it came out in 2002...
It mightn't be that. It mightn't be that.
Might have been 98.
Well,
doesn't matter. When it came out, at the time, everyone would go, have you seen The Sixth Sense? You'd go, no. And they'd be like, oh, I'm not going to tell you the ending. And then everyone, it was the whole thing, like, don't tell anyone the ending. Because that was the pivotal part of the film.
It was 99, Jack's telling us.
It was 99. Yeah. Well done. So, now, what do you think the ending is?
Well, I mean,
we're allowed to spoiler it.
You're allowed to spoil this now because it's 15 years.
It's close to 20.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 15.
So, the guy, Bruce Willis, was dead the whole time.
Okay, so you know that bit, but
I've never seen the film though.
So much else to the film.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you give me permission to give you one of my patented movie in a minute?
Love to hear it.
Which is where I try and condense a 113-minute film, as The Sixth Sense was, down into a measly 60 seconds, Ando.
Go for it.
I've done Titanic for you.
Yep.
I've done Castaway. I feel like we did another one too, another Tom Hanks film.
Terminal.
That was a cracker. Are you ready, Jay?
Sixth Sense goes for 107 minutes.
Oh, so I added 6 for good luck.
Not bad.
Thank you. Start the clock, Jay. Okay, so Haley Joel Osment, little kid, moves into a new neighborhood because his dad gets fired.
Okay.
Or sent to work in this new neighborhood. Long story short, it just seems like a crappier neighborhood than he was in before. And as the truck drives off, the Haley Joel Osment's dad's like,
"What do you think, son?"
But Haley Joel Osment's like, I've seen better neighborhoods. It looks like a pretty spooky old house. And he walks inside, and suddenly, floor creak. Sort of sets the tone for the film. Now, it's school holidays, I think, at the time. Or he's taken a little break before he starts up school because I don't remember him going to school.
Okay.
And he doesn't have any kid friends around.
Okay.
So he just sort of goes to a sort of a spooky park nearby and swings on some swings by himself. And that's very much sort of, you get picking up on the tone, aren't you?
Yeah, sure.
So Bruce Willis is at the park and he sees him and he sort of goes over to Haley Joel Osment and goes, no friends, huh? And Haley's like, yeah. And then Bruce is like, listen, we can hang out if you want. I'm not weird or anything. And Haley goes, yeah, okay. But my parents obviously will be weird about this because you're an old man and I'm a little boy. So we can hang out, but just
keep it on the down low.
Like, I accept your deal, but you stay out of sight around my parents. And then Bruce Willis is like,
"Can do, kid."
So he agrees to that deal.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Anyway, Haley goes home, and then he's upstairs at his spooky house, and he sees an old maid from like the 1700s there.
All right.
And she turns to him and says,
Serve you some soup, sir.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't.
and he's
Okay.
like,
Have you
"That's-
seen this film, Jack?
Hang on, this is it. Don't.
Okay, sure.
I've only got a minute. So then, then Haley goes, that's weird. Goes downstairs and goes to his parents. I just saw an old maid upstairs who offered to serve me some soup. The parents go, that's impossible. The house is securely fenced and locked. And on that, and what door did she come out of? And he tells them, no one's ever been out of that door for 100 years. There's a locked door. So suddenly we're going, what's going on here? Then he goes and talks to Bruce Willis, and Willis goes, yeah, that was a ghost.
Okay, so he
He goes,
Bruce Willis
yeah,
affirms
I'm a little bit more open-minded than your parents. That was a ghost. So then Haley goes home and goes into the kitchen, and he sees an old circus master who's in the kitchen who says,
Sell you a ticket to the circus once you've had your soup, boy.
and then Haley goes, I know what's going on here.
Yeah.
So he calls his parents in and drops the catch line of the film.
I see dead people.
And then his parents go, we call them ghosts, but yes,
Yes.
you've lost it. And then
yes, you've lost it. Okay,
well,
so that's
they
not
don't
very
get worried about it.
good parenting.
Anyway, they go,
Okay.
we're worried about you.
Sure.
And he goes, well, I've got something else to tell you. I've only got
Close to the
15.
minutes.
I've only got 15 seconds left. He goes, I've got something else to tell you. I've also been hanging out with Bruce Willis a lot, and I've been connecting with him because I don't have any childhood friends. Get in here, Bruce. Bruce is waiting outside. Bruce comes in and says,
Howdy, gang.
and then the parents go, there's no one there. What are you talking about? You've lost it. Then they leave. Haley turns to Bruce and goes, why couldn't they see you? And then the penny drops for Haley and he goes, son of a bitch, you...
No, he doesn't. He's a small kid. He wouldn't have
you
sworn.
are also a ghost. Why didn't you tell me you were a ghost? And Willis, the final scene of the film, Willis says,
Sorry, kid. Didn't want to spoil the movie for you.
and the audience rises as one, cheering.
And we've just heard Hamish's patented movie in a minute, where he was meant to describe the film The Sixth Sense.
I think he did a pretty good job.
Well, the
got
point-
it in under a minute.
The point is, and if you missed it, please go get the podcast at hamishnetty.com or at iTunes. But the thing is, the point of this segment was, you've seen a film
Yep.
that you remember very well, and you explain it to me
Yep.
in as quickly as you possibly can.
That's right, too.
That didn't seem quite right. Now, first of all, Jack, you've seen the film, have you?
I've seen it a long time ago, but I have enough of a memory of it to know that none of that was right. Except for
Okay,
the
can you...
spoiler was half
okay,
right at the
Okay,
end.
so you said
But I know a lot of that happens in the film.
you said he met Bruce Willis in a park. Is that
Something
what
like
happened?
that. I feel like they hung out at a park once.
Well, he wasn't just being a creepy old man to him. Bruce Willis was his therapist.
that
That's
does
what-
ring a bell now. Sure.
Well, that's an important
Oh,
part.
mate, I can't remember
So,
every film I've ever seen.
But are his parents taking him to the therapist?
Well, you're as an audience member, you're meant to think that the parents know about Bruce Willis at the whole time.
This sounds less plausible than the film I described.
Well, anyway, and then hang on. At the end,
At the end, Haley Joel Osment works out that Bruce Willis is dead.
right?
But Bruce Willis didn't even know he was dead himself.
How?
So he's going through.
How is their ghost?
So he was. So
How do you not know you're dead?
So
I think my film was a lot smarter.
So Haley Joel Osment spoils it for Bruce.
In a way, yeah. Rex
He
is-
tells him his life
Didn't
is a
Bruce's
different ending.
daughters die or something? Didn't Bruce have kids that he wanted to hang around and he was looking?
No,
That-
getting huge shakes of the head. Huge shakes of the head. Do you think in the future?
I'm positive I've seen it. I just obviously didn't. I mean, it
So-
just didn't stick.
So how does Bruce take the news that he's dead? Even
Not
though
well,
in
not
your
well.
in your version, Ham, you had him saying,
Sorry, I didn't want to spoil it for you.
he was dead. He claimed, but he finds out. How does he take it, Jack, when he finds out he's dead?
Wasn't he just standing in a hallway and he just lets it wash over?
Now
him?
that sounds familiar to me.
Okay.
There's a hallway.
There's a hallway and a set of stairs. There's quite a lot that happens on a set of stairs.
The only thing accurate so far is the environment Bruce once stood in.
Yeah.
Some of it
None
was-
of the ghosts, and there are a few ghosts that he talks to in the movie, none of the ghosts are as Hamish described.
There was
From
no-
my memory.
There was no circus ghost. There was no old maid. Okay, we're going to have
Used
to
to be.
review. We're going to have to review this.
Listen, I don't pick what films we do movie in a minute for.
No.
It has to be something that you haven't seen and I have. Yes, I would like it to be a film I watched last night.
Yeah.
But that's not always going to happen, unfortunately. You have seen Passenger 57,
Yeah.
and that's a film I watched last night. So I'm just getting a bit stuck where sometimes it's a film that I've seen a very long time ago. I think that my Titanic one was excellent.
A lot of people watching The Bachelor, Ham, on
Yeah.
Channel 10. Not myself, but you have been giving us Bachelor updates.
I banned you from it because
Yeah.
you want to be the Bachelor next year, so we don't want you being poisoned.
And that's why maybe I fell for this person's email that came in.
Yeah, let's hear it. I haven't actually heard this email.
His name is George, and he said Bachelor spoiler, right? He said there's a game changer coming up. Very soon in The Bachelor, the contestants will get the power to give away the giant aphid, which an aphid, everyone, is an insect that eats away plants.
Yes, you don't want them on your roses.
No, that can be given to any girl at any time. When Blake hands out a rose to one of the girls on a date, that means they're exempt from the rose ceremony.
Yep.
And they stand to one side. At this point, a girl who's got the giant aphid may choose to play it, and the aphid goes across and eats the rose of the girl standing to the side. That previously selected girl goes back into the pool of desperate women, hoping to be hand-plucked out of obscurity.
True.
Like a giant skill tester.
Well, because the whole idea of The Bachelor is you stand there, he gives you a rose,
Yeah.
he wants to see you next week.
Yeah.
But yes, an aphid that undoes a rose would be a very interesting element. I can say with some assurity there is no giant aphid coming up in The Bachelor season. However, it did make us think, Hannah, we thought, wouldn't it be a great version of The Bachelor where you do have things like the giant aphid?
Yeah.
You got some aces up your sleeve, makes it a bit more exciting. And for anyone that watches Survivor, in later seasons, you start getting things like, immunity idols
Yeah.
and necklaces and things like that.
Could jazz it up a fair bit.
It does make the game more exciting if you got something just a bit more than the safety rose that The Bachelor's handing out.
It's time for the rose giving ceremony. Blake has already given out one rose to Tiffany during the dates this week. Here's two more to give with 3 girls remaining. One of you will be unlucky in love.
Usher,
Yes, Sally.
I'd like to play my giant aphid.
Ooh. Well, Sally, you can play your giant aphid as we watch Sally go across and place the small plant-destroying insect on Tiffany's rose.
Sorry.
Tiffany, you will now join the others. You no longer have immunity.
Oh, what a shame.
Blake, you now have to give a rose.
Well, then my next rose goes to Tiffany. Then you're safe again, Tiffany.
Thank you, Blake. I've had a magical last few days getting to know you.
Well done, Tiffany. You are back safe again. Blake, who will your next rose go to?
Usher,
Yes, Sally.
I'd like to play my golden goat, please.
You can play your golden goat as we watch Sally lead the goat across to Tiffany and we see the goat eat Tiffany's second rose.
Sorry.
Tiffany, you will now join the others. You no longer have immunity. Blake, you must now pick.
Well, I re-pick Tiffany to be safe.
Oh my god, thank you so much. I can't believe it.
Well, don't be too surprised. It's the 3rd time this week.
Blake, I came here dreaming of love. That dream is now reality.
Usher,
Yes, Sally.
I'd like to play my big bag of acid.
You can play your big bag of acid.
Oh, no, she can't because I won't have any roses left.
Wow, for the first time ever, The Bachelor will not find love this series.
I do want Tiffany. Usher,
Yes,
sorry
Sally.
to interrupt, Blake, but I would actually like to use my sacred ring of Alcatraz, which means I can propose to myself on behalf of Blake.
Wow, we're finishing the series with a live proposal.
Yeah, great. Like, Sally, will you marry me? Yeah, definitely, Blake. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
Congratulations, Sally, the winner of The Bachelor 2014.
Oh, wow, I'm stoked.
So excited about this, and massive spoiler alert for everyone. We're going to say that up front.
Yep.
For anyone excited about the new film Batman versus Superman, starring Ben Affleck and
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
It's not due out till 2016. And I don't think even plot ideas will start leaking out until next year when they start filming it.
That's why we're getting the jump.
I can tell you one thing, that Tony Abbott's not in it because they've already got enough superheroes with their pants on the outside.
Welcome to the show, Jacqueline Close-Moore. She is our psychic for today, and also some excellent political commentary. Well done. Here's how it's going to work, Jacqueline. Can we show you? If we show you pictures of first of all Batman, and then we go through the cast, we can hopefully get an idea if you can, use your clairvoyant powers to foresee perhaps what's going to happen between these two guys in the future. Is that possible?
Well, we can have a go at it.
Let's have a go.
This is a bit of a unique situation, but we'll
I don't
have
think
a
it's
go.
ever been done before, Jacqueline. I think this is a radio first.
Look, I've done a few radio first, so this is all right.
I'm showing you Batman now.
Batman.
What are we seeing for him in the film?
I just feel as if the power has gone to his head. He's gone a bit mad with it.
Yeah,
And
right, okay. So we're gonna see a bit of that.
Look, I'm wondering if Alfred kicks his butt or somebody else kicks his butt.
So you
Like
feel
throw
like
him back
someone's
into
going
line.
to kick his butt. Could it be Superman?
Well, look, that kind of is inevitable.
Yeah. Do we see any love interest?
Look, Batman's a bit of a strange one on that level. I sort of feel like Superman would have far more love interest than Batman because Batman goes into that dark sort of...
Yes. I mean, girls love a bad boy, though.
Well, look, don't they ever? And isn't that the problem?
They want to fix someone.
It's all about
Don't go
healing.
there, girls. You can never fix him. Anyway,
No, they
that's a
can't.
whole other deck of tarot cards.
It is.
We're showing you Superman.
Oh, whoop. He's looking very deep, mysterious, and rather disturbed,
What
actually.
energy are we feeling here? Where do we see him going in this film?
He's pretty sexy as well, isn't he? Are you feeling that?
Not myself. Really? Yeah, I'm kind of more into the Irish, My husband's Irish, and he's not looking Irish.
Yeah, sure.
But
And
then what is Irish?
the Riddler, maybe someone in a green suit.
It could be. It could be.
We're getting sidetracked. Though. We're getting sidetracked. What are we seeing?
All American.
What are we seeing happen film-wise? What energy are we getting off Superman there? For
I
spoilers.
just feel like he gets the absolute stuffing knocked out of him, really.
So he will lose. So
Right.
in the battle,
but nobody wins.
no one wins.
No one wins. Okay.
When you
If
seek
you've just
absolute
tuned
power,
in,
nobody wins.
If you've just tuned in, we are talking to Jacqueline Close-Moore. She is a world-renowned psychic, looking at pictures of Batman and Superman to give spoilers away for the 2016 film Batman vs Superman, and she has just dropped a bombshell in the showdown between the two. Nobody wins.
And the other thing as well that I was getting
I
was...
much prefer. Can I just say, Jacqueline? I much prefer this to E! News. Yeah. I prefer the psychic version where we just pick up on vibes than bothering to.
That's what I had to say. Wonder Woman, she's a real kicker. There's some kind of twist there.
So yeah, Wonder Woman's going to be in it.
Wonder Woman. I just feel like something's coming out
That
of
is
this
a huge-
that relates to
Wonder
Wonder Woman
Woman.
somehow.
Great.
I'm just not understanding how she fits in, but there's some kind of whenever we do see Wonder Woman, if it's in this film or the next one, she's going to be kick-ass. I'm going to be liking her.
Oh,
yeah, right. Well, I mean, that's not a spoiler. We knew she was going to be hot.
No, not hot. Kick-up, twist on the normal version to what you saw in the 70s. So
Yeah, okay.
it's not just some kind of Wonder Woman, lasso, woo.
Okay. I hope it's not that.
Jacqueline, thank you
Jacqueline,
very much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Terrific spoilers. I think we've got to bring movie spoilers back. Psychic movie spoilers are great fun.
It's the happy hour. Hey, before we go today,
Before we go, Ando, just a quick heads up. For when you have kids, I want to prepare you for the sting of how much it can cost to decorate the room of children. Okay? The baby world is full of people that must just be laughing like fat spiders.
seems to me like the wedding world a little bit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, people
So
get
the
so
safe-
excited about this moment that they'll just spend any money on anything.
Well, it falls into two categories. There's the safety aspect, so like prams, car seats, things like that. So where you can always say to someone, if you want your baby to be safe, buy this one.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of parent that's decided to go through pregnancy and then throw caution to the wind, sure, buy the maybe baby car seat, where who knows what'll happen in an accident, unless you want Maxi Safe.
Yeah.
Well, yes. How much is Maxi Safe? It's 19 times the price of the maybe baby.
Oh, my wife's going to be annoyed if I come back with the maybe baby.
Can I get the maybe baby with the Maxi Safe stickers on it? So then the other category is just decorations.
Yeah.
And people that invent like the rugs, toy boxes, stuff like that, it's unbelievable. They just pick a number. You just pick a number. And because anyone can say that they're a boutique artisan nursery decoration thing. How's this? This is so far my most ridiculous example. A jar of pom-poms. Okay, so we bought Sonny... We needed some stuff to like string around the room because now he can see shapes and stuff like at a distance,
Yep.
within room distance. So we're like, oh, let's just string some stuff around the roof, and he can look at it. We can jingle it, and
Yep.
like it's moving stuff. So we're like, all right, then that's what this string of. So it's a jar with like 40 pom poms.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe not even that. Maybe like 15, 20 pom poms on a string.
Yep.
So I've strung it from his light to his door. Went up to the cat, didn't even bother to look. I suppose in your head, it's like going, like if you were to buy a jar of pasta sauce.
Yeah.
I mean, you're like, I don't know, it's about $6.
Yeah.
Like, not going to be crazy.
Yeah. Jar of pom-poms, $14.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Pom poms
for me.
are just wool.
Yeah.
They're not hard to make. I remember I made some in year 4.
Yeah.
They weren't great,
No.
but I did it. And I was a child.
Yeah.
So it's not a technical item to make. Took it up to the front counter, $44.95.
$44.95.
$44.95 for a jar of pom poms. And I said to Leia, I was like, $44.95. And she went, it's very good wool.
Who
Like the
cares?
I said,
We're looking at the wool.
right, so I've gone, you could have made it with cheaper wool. He's never touching them. No child's ever touching the pom-poms. Then I went, she could see that I was hesitating, and I think she went, I reckon it was one of those items in the store. And I've worked in stores like this before where, like, we had a bum bag once at a skate shop I worked at that was $100. I went, who's ever going to buy this giant bum bag that has 2 drink bottle holders beside the bum bag compartment? We privately nicknamed it the weapon, and everyone that came into the store, we tried to sell them the weapon, and no one would buy it. And I suddenly got the feeling like I was the customer
About to buy the weapon.
about to buy the weapon, falling for it. So she can see I'm hesitating. They're going, geez, $44.95 for pom-poms. And the attempt to get me to buy it was, she goes, you could reuse the jar after you buy it. You could use the jar for lots of other things. And, that's $30 worth of value there. Yes, I suppose you could. I could put the old pom-poms I have in my house into the jar.
That's all I've got time for today. Do you like the idea of you just pouring out pasta sauce, turning back in with the jar and going, hey, I don't need the jar anymore?
Do I have to buy the pom-poms? Because I just want the jar.
HamishNanny.com for anything you may have missed. Our podcast is there, and we'll catch you to round out the week tomorrow.
Have a good one.
That was the Hamish and Andy Show podcast, powered by Amy. Lucky you're with Amy.